Hello, everyone. My name is Frank Anthony, and welcome back to Let Me Be Frank, episode 76. The big 7-6. I always say the big 2-0, the big 5-0, the big 2-7-1-7-6-5-3.1496. I don't know, just too many numbers. But yes, today's episode is episode 76. And before I get into today's guests, let's go through the usual stuff that we go through. So, what's new with Frank? What's new with me? There's a few different things I guess you could call new, but to be, let me be frank, I'm not really getting out a whole lot. So, I mean, there's only so much new that can happen, I guess, right? Well, one thing is I'm reading a lot more. So there was one book before. I've been wanting to read a lot more in general, but I want to say a few books ago now, there was this one book that I was really into. I just was reading it really slow. And for people that know me, I'm not the fastest reader at times. So it took me like a month and a half to read the book. It was a little bit long, but still, like, that's kind of when you think about libraries and you think about how they'll lend you a book for 1 week or 2 weeks or something like that. If you renew it, a month and a half is kind of a long time when you really think about it. But I know then there's just those books that maybe you never finish in general, which sucks. So now what I started doing, I've really been getting back into reading. I'm in this book group where you gift each other books. It's been amazing. The people in that group are amazing. They're great. And now I have so many books I have to read. I have at least 50 or 60 books that I need to get through, and I like to do little reviews on them as well. I know whenever I publish my book, eventually, whenever that happens, I would want people to review it and be, as honest as possible with it too. So I try to review, as many books as I can and give them, open, honest, and unfiltered. That's what I do on this show. But now what I do, my little trick for books that I do now, I don't know if anyone else does this, but I look at the number of pages. So let's say, for example, it's, I don't know, let's make it easy. Or no, let's not test my math. I was going to say like 280. Yeah, I guess, yeah, we can go with 280. So let's say there's 280 pages in a book. I divide that, but I was trying to find a number that you could divide by 7 more easily. So you divide that by 7 because there's 7 days in a week. So my goal was to always finish a book no later than 1 week so that I could read, because my original goal was read 2 books a month on Goodreads, which if you want to follow me on Goodreads, you can go and do that. Frank Anthony or Frank Anthony Books over there. I had 2 books a month, but now I'm figuring, well, I could aim for 4 books a month because it's 1 book a week. That really isn't so bad if you can find a little bit of time here and there to do that. And I've been able to do that, and it's great. I divide it by 7. So for example, a 280 page book would be 40 pages a day that you would read in order to finish it. Well, there's been at least the last 2 or 3 books I read, I finished in 4 days. I didn't even need the whole week. And for me, that's really fast. And I know there's people out there, they finish a book in a day and you're superhuman and that's great. But I need a couple days at least. Well, apparently 4 days has been like my magic number, like 3-4 days, which is crazy because I'm usually someone that reads really slow. But I've been reading a lot more this past month. I'm trying to think how many books I've read, like at least 4 or 5 at least. More, or maybe even 6 now at this point. I don't know. It's a decent number though, where I can think of certain years I barely even read 1 book an entire year. And now I'm like really pushing to try to read like 20, 30, 40, 50 books, which is cool. Also, another thing that I'm doing, if anyone even cares, for anyone that's into Pokemon, I have been trying to, so there's a good amount of people that are connected to me on the Nintendo Switch. You might be friends with me on there. My name is Knarf on there. That's Frank backwards, if you were curious. I can't remember my friend code at the moment, so you'll just have to message me about that. But there's a lot of people I'm connected to on there, so they've been seeing me probably play a lot of Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu. Those games came out a little while ago. They're remakes of the very first Pokemon adventure games. Well, I'm trying to catch all of the Pokemon, like every single generation, and put them into Pokemon Home. And that's not just having like the last evolutions, like every individual one. So not just Charizard, but Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard, and so on with all the other ones. I'm trying to get one of every single one. I'm trying to be the Pokemon master, and it's a bitch. It's so time consuming, but I think I almost have all of Gen 1. Mind you, I've probably been playing it for like at least a week or two. I've been on those games for a little bit. It takes a while. It's gonna be a long journey that I might not do consistently. But yeah, that's just been something. It's been a new goal in my life. I probably should be making other goals in life, not video game goals. But I know people who play a lot of video games can relate to making those types of goals. One other thing that's been new with me is so I've been working on a novel. I'm kind of taking a new direction on my novel, and people might be like, "Oh my God, Frank, don't like start writing a whole new idea." And it's not necessarily that. So I've been working on a memoir. I'm still going to be working on a memoir, don't worry. But I decided I'm not going to say what it's about or the name yet. I want to wait until I actually have like a manuscript done and stuff and actually get through the editing process, because then it's something, it's something if I think about that, oh, I can't wait to announce this, maybe it'll push me more to write more. And I've actually been scheduling blocks to do at least a minimum of 1 hour writing a day. You got to make time for the stuff that you really want to do, even when you're exhausted. But yes, I'm deciding to focus on more of a specific time in my life. And I realize memoirs kind of are that. I don't need to talk about every life story. It's been really difficult for me to conjure all that up. And there's just certain things that I don't really want to put on paper, I guess. Maybe it's stuff I could talk about on the show eventually, but I mean, it's a whole lifetime. I'm 29 years old. It's 29 years. There's a lot that goes on in about 30 years or more. So yeah, it's going to be a specific time in my life that's lasted quite a good amount of years, and I just feel like it's not talked about enough. So I thought, hey, I'm going to try to focus on that. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe I'll sprinkle some hints along the way. Show rankings. The countries are the same, with United States in first, Canada in second, and Mexico in third. I did notice Canada, their audience grew quite a good amount. So thank you, my fellow Canadians. I love Canadians. I have many friends from Canada now, whether I've known them for years or I've just met them. And I love Canadians. So thank you to everyone for that. Top 5 states. I want to say these are either the same or very close to last week. They're very similar, I think. 5th place is New York. It's like, New York, you were in first. What happened? We just fell and we decided to stay there. 4th place is Ohio. 3rd place is Massachusetts. I'm super disappointed in Massachusetts. Like, we should be 1 or 2, but that's okay. I guess we're in the top 5. I have to be grateful for that. California in 2nd place and Missouri in 1st place. I'm going to have to go to Missouri sometime. If you are in Missouri and you've been checking out the show, message me, comment on posts, let me know. I should go visit you just for that, for always being up there and always having my back. Thank you. Today's quote comes from Art Rios from Let's Talk. He was a past guest on the show. So yes, thank you, Art, for submitting this quote. It is, positive thinking will let you do everything better than negative thinking will. Yeah. I mean, sorry, that was by Zig Ziglar. We're not going to always feel positive every single moment of our lives 24/7, but there's definitely, I feel like mindset is so important, and we have more control over our mindset than we think we do. Sometimes it feels like we can't change our mindset, but it is possible. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy at all. It definitely takes a lot of work, but it is possible. We all go through some sort of struggle in our lives. We go through hardships. We also go through some good moments. As long as we're welcoming new experiences into our life, then I think more positive things will come out of that. So I do agree with this quote that positive thinking will just kind of enhance some of your actions, not even just your thoughts, but yeah, it'll enhance things that you do better than the negative thinking will. I totally agree with that quote, and thank you. Today's guests, and yes, that is plural, because this will be our second third wheel episode. It's been quite a while since the first one, but I'm so excited to slowly start getting these types of interviews in. This one has to do with two of my good friends, Kayla and Mike. So Kayla is one of the producer's sisters, and that's how I met Kayla. I'd say Monica. I don't know if she wanted me saying her name, but I'll just say Monica. I don't have to say the whole name. And that's how I met Kayla through her and her husband Mike, and they're great. And I always have a good time whenever I see them, whenever I talk to them. I've dog sat for them a couple times, and they have the most amazing dogs ever. But more importantly, this interview with them, I think it's like the first time I've really sat down with just the two of them and just myself and had a long, like 40-minute hour conversation. So it was really cool to have that and kind of, I guess, as I could say, date them in quotes or go on a date with them. Not that I'm actually dating them, of course, but I mean, I would. If they're open, I would. But no, it was great talking to them, and I felt like they gave a lot of insight in their relationship. I feel like relationships where if one of the partners in a relationship has been in the Army or the Navy or any type of thing like that, I definitely recommend listening to this episode. I think they give a lot of good insight related to that and overcoming some of those struggles and still, raising a family and building a family and all that good stuff. So without further ado, this was kind of a longer talk at the beginning. Sorry, not sorry. Without further ado, enjoy. Hey, Kayla and Mike, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I am good. Yeah, I'm doing well so far. It's still early in the day, but
Yeah.
we'll see. So I have a confession.
Yes.
This isn't even like, I'm not even recording. This isn't an episode. I just want an excuse to go on a date with both of you.
Well, with Mike, just be honest.
With both of you.
Oh, thanks.
No, but thank you guys for coming on. It means a lot.
Sure.
I forgot to write this question down, but how long have you two been together?
Well, we'll be married 10 years this October, but we've been together about 12 years. Yeah, about
Wow.
12 and a half years.
Double digits.
Double digits.
Yeah,
I know. We're committed now if we hit the double digits. So.
And how did you two meet?
Well, we had a mutual friend that he met through high school. I met actually through my ex-boyfriend, she was dating one of his friends at the time. So we ended up, her and I and a couple other girlfriends went to this bonfire going on, and Mike happened to be there as well, and we all just met up, talked, hung out, and
I gave her a hug.
He gave me a hug. That's what he always says. He
I
gave me
her a hug.
He gave me a hug.
I shook the other's hands and gave her a hug.
Right. And then he also really sweet. So we were all drinking a little, having fun. And no, I had never met him, but me and my other girlfriend, not the one that introduced us, but my other girlfriend were driving home. And so he was like, hey, here's my number. Like, just in case you guys like need something on the way home, or like, can you maybe just text me, let me know you're home safe. And so it was really sweet. It was cute. That kind of threw out, like, at the time, my boyfriend and I were not on great terms. So, we were fighting back and forth. And I'm like, he doesn't even know where I am. But this really nice guy, like, wants to make sure I get home okay. Like, that can't be right. So.
I hope he's not watching this.
It was...
I hope he is.
Sorry. I wasn't going to call him out, but okay.
I called him out.
Well, there was no names.
Right. So yeah, so that's basically how it started. Then we just started like texting and talking from there and like became friends. And then my boyfriend and I ended our relationship at the time, and a few months later we were dating. So
yeah, it worked out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The rest is history. Here we are in double digits now and 2 kids later. And
I know, which I just saw there was I don't know when this video will be kind of old news at the point, but I just saw the video with Mila.
Yeah.
I'll say that was
finally saying TT. I know she's been trying for a whole year and a half. So, yep, she finally got a win.
So, and you both can answer this, what is one of your favorite memories with your partner?
I thought about this one. I can't really say I have a favorite memory because honestly, coming in, raising a family, and like we just progressed as a family, like as a couple at first, and as a family, that just so many memories to be made. Like there's so many different favorite memories. I can't really choose a favorite, but like just being with family is a great memory. Just
Definitely.
having someone here for me, with me, that's just the memories we make. I can't really think of a favorite, but if I had to go with a favorite, I think Disney was a good time.
I was gonna say if I had to pick one time, our Disney trip was a really fun, like our first real family trip together, all four of us. You know, the kids, of course, were in Disney magic heaven, and it was so much fun. And it was the first time we really had ever gotten on like a family vacation like that and really had a big trip. So that was a lot of fun. I also really loved our Jersey trip when we were dating.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Our Jersey trip was a lot of fun. We took a long weekend and went away to New Jersey and just spent time together. Just no real plans.
Drinking Bud Light limes on a dry beach.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we just had fun. We were like a couple of kids just hanging out, and it was nice. You know,
that was a good time. But, But there's just so many memories that we made that I just can't really make a favorite.
Like, a lot of fun.
Life.
I would say the Dominican was another one. Like a lot of our trips are so fun, but as far as like for us in particular, I think those two would probably be top. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Being able to get out of like the whole 9 to 5 or just, you know, getting away from work or like the house in general. Yeah. It makes it definitely much more special.
Yeah, I mean, we don't vacation as often as we'd like. So when we do, we try to make it like a big deal and lots of fun and, you know, try to pack a bunch into it if we can.
Yeah, so, when it becomes something like regular, it's like, it doesn't feel as like you earned it almost. It's just like, you know, whatever, going on a yacht again.
Yeah, well, just a regular Sunday. Yeah.
So what is a difficult event that both of you have been through?
There's two that I mean I would want to go straight to saying like his deployment a few years ago, but I think actually the thing that probably like took a turn for us in like a good direction and it actually made us really strong after that was when I gave birth to Mila. I think that probably because it was such a traumatic event, I ended up needing like an emergency C-section and things went down like really fast. He wasn't allowed to be in the OR. It was a whole like mess for both me and the baby and him as well because he had no idea what was going on.
I was ready to rip down doors.
Yeah.
So, I don't blame you.
I was not happy.
Yeah, the deployment was not easy, but definitely that event in particular was like that. It's almost like that near-death experience that like kind of shifts your thinking and your priorities and all those things. So yeah, I think that probably
coming home to reactivate to life was hard for me. That was the hard one, like having a wife and you know being away for the whole year and you know seeing a lot of stuff, you know, and
that was our first year of marriage too. We had gotten married just a few weeks before he left.
And I came home a changed person, obviously, because we see, you know, you have to grow up real quick when you're over there. So, you know, you come home a completely different person. You know, I realized I was a different person. You know, I started drinking this and that, whatever, you know, and then I finally got back to work, but I was still hot-headed and just pushing forward every day and just trying to improve myself. That's been really struggling through life, just pushing forward. But now it's gotten to the point where just can't let anything bother you and just keep going with it. Make the best of every day.
Yeah, that's not easy. Can I ask, like, how did you guys how were you guys able to figure that out or go through that together?
I mean, the deployment was really, we were young, first of all. So when he came home, I was 23.
Yeah,
yes, I was 23.
He was
25. You were 25.
Oh, I don't remember.
You were almost 26. No, so I was 20. Well, we were 22 when we got married. I turned 23. So yeah, you were 23 and I was 23 and you were 25, almost 26. He was about to turn 26 at the time. So we were still really young.
Yeah.
And then I mean, we had no idea we didn't even know how to be married, let alone being like dealing with all of this on top of it. So it was really like a roller coaster. I mean, we were not in a good place whatsoever, him and I. And it was his emotions. I'm like, I don't even want to like push him. I'm like, okay, he gets his 2 months off of work to finish his orders after he comes home. So he can do whatever he wants. I'll let him get it out of his system. But I mean, like, I don't think he was sober a day during those first 2 months home. Nope. And I mean, literally, like, wake up and drink. And it was like an obscene amount of alcohol and just not himself. He's not an alcoholic whatsoever. He's not a heavy drinker typically. So I was like, okay, this is new, but we'll let it ride. If he starts drinking while he's working and doing all this other stuff, then we got to have a different conversation. Yeah. But I mean, and he wasn't like violent or anything. He just was like very withdrawn and had that drinking issue. And like you could tell he had some demons he was working through and whatever. So it took a good like 3 months to kind of get him back to a semi-stable like state emotionally. But then even after that, like we were relearning who we were together. I had grown over the year into my own type of person because I had no choice. He grew into his own different person because of all the shit he went through. So it was just such a nonsense, crazy situation that we kind of, I mean, it took a long time, probably a good year before we were in any kind of, well, and actually, no, not even true, because the following year we bought a house. 6 months later, I was pregnant. And so then there was that. And on top of that, after getting pregnant, we had a falling out with his family, with his parents. So there were so many different big events that went on for him. And he had barely even processed that long deployment. So it was insane.
It was a lot in a nutshell, but somehow we stuck together. I mean,
right, yeah. Somehow
we loved each other.
Made it through, and you know, we wanted a whole family for our kids. We didn't want the co-parenting second homes. We decided, you know, we're gonna figure out a way to get out of it. You know, divorce isn't an option for us, so
no.
So we made it work, even though we weren't on great terms. And honestly, I think our daughter saved us. I think Sophia really was like, gave us more of a purpose in that to try to get ourselves together and grow up and, you know, do what we had to do.
First couple of years sucked, but we're better off now than we ever been.
Yeah, I would agree.
No, it's great. Yeah, it's interesting because in general, you know, as human beings, we go through various changes, but with all the obstacles that you guys had against you at the time, it's just like, oh my God, like Kayla had said, it's like you're forced to grow up or forced to have to deal with the shit that's laying right in front of you. But it does sound like you guys were on the same page with like some really important things. So
I think we are, and that's a big thing. I think we've always had like the same core values, the same goals, like long-term, short-term. We both generally want the same thing. So I feel like that helps to build that, you know, foundation. Even when stuff gets kind of crazy, things get out of control, at least you still always have that same goal in mind, the same base mindset and values and all of that. And that really, I think, is a big reason why it's always worked.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of ties in to what we were just talking about. What is one of the most important life lessons that you've learned?
Mine, let shit go. Let it go. Don't let it boil on your back. Don't hold a grudge. You know, like Kayla will see me in traffic and I'll get pissed at somebody and she's like, chill out. And 2 seconds later, I'll forget about it and just keep driving, continue conversation. Like, before, I used to chase the person, get out of my car, want to pull them out of the car, be like, I'm going to strangle you if you keep this shit up, you know?
They made a movie on that.
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
He's that guy.
But yeah, just honestly, like, I work with a bunch of older guys. I've been promoted through the years at work, through the military. You know, I've dealt with some pretty hard people. And you just learn to really just let it go. Don't let things bother you. And if you got something witty better to come back with to piss them off, by all means. But... yeah, you can't hold a grudge. You can't let anything happen. And that's what I've been working on a lot lately. This past year, obviously, a lot. Just letting stuff go. Like, the kids are crying or something like that. Or Mila's kicking me because she doesn't want a diaper change. You know, you just kind of can't get really mad about anything. You just kind of like, okay, it'll be over. An hour from now, it'll all be over.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would agree for you. That's your own personal growth for sure. You've done a lot of that where you're trying not to take things so personally or hold on to things as heavily.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like riding it out a little easier, a little more laid back.
So you just learned that helped me cope with the family a lot better.
Yeah.
With our relationship, everything.
I mean, for me, I guess my biggest lesson is like time is a thief, so you have to sort of make
I like that.
everything count. And like, like our kids are growing so fast.
Time is a thief. I've never heard you say that.
I've said that before.
Never heard it.
Never heard it?
If you did, I forgot already.
Oh, well, not surprising. But no, it just, like my kids are growing so fast, and we can't just sit around and wait for things to come about, or wait for, like, life is short. Just, don't sweat the small stuff so much, and try to make the most of each day, and just have, live your life, basically. Don't wait around for it to come about and start,
I feel like your lessons, it's interesting. Your lessons kind of intertwine with each other.
Yeah.
We feed off each other a lot.
We really do, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like I've learned what not to say when she's pissed off at me. When I know exactly, I can say, "Do I really want to start this?" and push it forward, because I can just say one word.
Yeah.
But I just sit back and go, "Okay, you're right, cool," and just walk away. Like I said, just don't let it bother you. Walk away; it'll be fine later.
Yeah, no, that definitely. Yeah, some couples can't figure out that communication.
Oh, they just go to
yeah.
You see some people start arguing.
Yeah, they'll just do what like works for them without really thinking about what works with their partner.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a very us mentality. Like, if I'm doing something for me, I still, in the back of my mind, have that, okay, how does this affect my kids, my husband, I very much have that mindset. He's always, I give him credit for, if nothing else, he's very, it's my kids and my wife first, and then wherever I fit in, I get in there and do what I need to do for me. But he very much, makes sure we've got what we need or what we want, and then, he'll get to him later, which could also be a downfall too. He probably should take better care of himself in a lot of ways. But, I do appreciate that he's not one of those selfish men that just, no, I got to do this, or I'm going to go see the boys, or I'm going to go do this. It's, hey, are we free, or do I have a few hours to like go out and see my friends, or this and that? Like, are we doing anything? Do you need anything? Do you need me to be home? He's always doing stuff like that, rather than, just, hey, I'm going to go out for a while, or hey, so-and-so's going to come over, we're going to have a few beers, or, he's not just thinking of him.
And that's also important. Like you said, that us mentality.
Yeah.
So, and I just want to warn the audience, because this next question that I ask is usually towards the end of an episode. We're not done yet, so don't tune out after this question. If you guys want to share any, what are your social media links or website links or anything that you want people to check out?
I'm primarily on Instagram. You can find me at Mrs. Robert 108. And then for him,
I'm just on Instagram.
Right, he's
that's
just
all
on
I got.
Instagram as well.
Yeah, that's E6OPIE, OPIE, like Opie from Family Guy. Yeah.
I love that.
That is exactly where it's from too.
Yeah.
Instagram's the way to go anyway. So.
Yeah,
Facebook is poison.
I know. I'm rarely I'm rarely on Facebook. I mean, I have it like activated, but I'm never even like posting really. I use it mainly for Marketplace if I do anything on it anyway.
Yeah, I ask her if I want to buy something on there. I ask her, hey, go on your Marketplace.
Can you look up?
I've done that for my roommate too. Yeah, that's a good resource.
Yeah.
If you guys, especially if you got like something big.
Money now.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Craigslist charges money now.
Really?
If you want to post a motor vehicle or anything, you got to pay a $5 surcharge.
Wow.
That's crazy. Yep, not anymore.
Come on, Craigslist. Don't sue me. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
We're not calling you out, but like...
I'm calling you out on what you just did, because I won't go on there anymore.
Yeah. Are you guys ready for some deep questions?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I know. This is the nervous part. I promise that. So I have white index cards and green ones. The green ones shouldn't be nearly as bad.
So we're going with white first. Perfect.
Let's start with white. Okay, so there's just going to be 3 of these.
Okay.
This one should be easy for you guys, I think. What does creating a family mean to each of you? You guys like already kind of have a family.
Creating a family. I mean, obviously, you got to start with, to get a family. I mean,
there's a mom and a dad.
The mom and a dad, yeah.
So there's a mom and a dad, yeah.
But anyway, creating a family. I mean, creating the bond between having your significant other trust you, be there with you, be there for you, and then creating the babies and having them be there with you, them trusting you completely, and everyone being in one tight circle. You don't let any outsiders into that circle unless, they want to become family. But family is family. To me, blood is blood. Blood can be not family, obviously, as I've learned in my case. But yeah, I mean, having that tight bond between each other and having the trust, that is family. Like, I got a couple of friends. They're family to me because I can call on them, trust them anytime in my life, anytime of day.
Yeah.
But our family here in our house, this is just a tight bond. They trust what we do, what I do.
Yeah, and I would agree with all of that as well. And then just having, like, it goes back to what I said before, having the same goals, the same values, and having a clear direction of where we want to take it together so that, it can benefit all of us. It's not just, it's a very much a team effort kind of a thing for us, where we want to have that close-knit bond, like he said, but also we want to have the same goals and have it benefit everybody, not just, one of us.
Yep.
Very nice. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go right to the next one.
Let's do it.
So, okay.
More white cards. Look at him. He's trying to grill us.
Yeah, I end up, it's like in reality, I just end up asking you all of them.
Right.
Okay. So what does trust and commitment look like in your relationship?
If you fall, I'm going to pick you back up.
Oh, I like that.
I do like that. That was
I'm
smooth.
going to always be there. I always tell Sophia, like, when she falls down or scrapes her knee, or Mila, I tell Sophia because Mila just looks at me and just keeps going because she's a beast. But Sophia will sit down, she'll start crying a little bit, like, hey, listen, get back up and keep going. I'll be there for you to catch you every time. I'll be there to pick you up. I'll be there to help you out. Whatever you need, you can always find Dad. That term Dad holds near and dear to my heart. Like, hey, these girls need someone to guide them the path to the right life and be there for them. And that's the trust in my relationship to my family, If they're there and they're down, I'm going to be there for them. Either if I'm not there physically or not there, I'll be there no matter what, some way or another.
Yeah.
That's very well said.
Yeah, I agree. That was very well said.
Well, that's what I would say.
I know, but for somebody who claims to not be very eloquent, that was very well said.
I hate speaking. Sorry, I do not like speaking. I'm not good with words. I spec bad.
But you both came with the eloquence today.
Right? I know. He prepared for you. Look at him putting on his best self for you, Frank. No, and I would agree with what he said. I think trust and commitment are like top of the list, along with communication in a marriage and any relationship in general. But yeah, like I said, divorce for us is not an option, even when we're in a dark place. We just don't see that as being an option. There's as long as we still love each other. Someone said this to me before. If you still love the person you're with, divorce can't be an option because there's still something to be saved. So for us, we have always been committed, always been trusting and together. And, we know that we have each other's best interest at heart in the long run. So there's no reason for us not to trust each other. So I've
already said if we ever get divorced,
it's a pretty easy thing.
I already said if we ever get divorced, and that comes that commitment as I'll always be there. Like, if she wanted me out of the house, I'd be in a tent in the backyard.
I was just gonna say, you guys said no option. No option. Someone has to die.
No option, but if she ever kicked me out or anything, I'd be, but there's no reason for us to divorce.
Yeah.
I mean, we make it work.
Yeah.
Through thick or thin, we make it work.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of relationships, it's hard for that. Like it's, I guess what I should say is it's easy to say that, but to actually do that, yeah, it's challenging.
Right. No, it's true. It takes work. So
yeah,
mm-hmm. It's a lot of work, and it's more than just saying it. You have to really act on it.
Yeah, I know it'd be easier for me. I mean, I make a good amount of money. I know I can easily, if we divorce, be like, all right, adios, I'm gonna go explore the world by myself. But you got that family now. You got that commitment. Yeah. You wanted this. You work at it. You will not give it up. And I don't give up. I don't like giving up. I don't like that word.
Right.
There's no quitting.
Yeah, I would agree.
So one more.
Let's do it.
Knock it out.
Let's see.
Oh boy.
It's the one I was just thinking. I was like, I wonder what they. Oh man, sorry.
The cards were reading your mind.
Okay, what is your take on romance, sex, and physical intimacy?
Oh, no wonder Frank wanted to know this. Of course he did.
All right, so which one was the first one? Sex?
Well, I'm not asking like what happens behind closed doors specifically. I'm not like what positions.
Right.
I mean,
I think that
you can say that after.
Before you get out I will say that we both believe that romance, intimacy, sex, all the things are super important to a relationship. You have to have that emotional, because for us it's emotional and a physical connection. I think it strengthens a relationship, but it's also not like the end all be all. Like you don't have to constantly have that sexual relationship. There are times where there are lulls and things like that, but we do feel that if we didn't have that good romantic connection, that it would never be as good of a relationship as what we have, So I do feel like it does play a really big role in a relationship.
You got to obviously have romance in life.
Right.
Like I have bromance. I have romance. You know how it works. But anyway, no, you like. Obviously, I'm one of those blue collar workers that I think blue collar. Yeah, the guy who wears a t-shirt, jeans, and big ass boots all day. In a factory and sweats all day. I don't ever look good. Like this is as good as I look right here. Sleeveless shirt. I look good today. I don't have a stain on this shirt. But every now and then,
good.
Look at that.
But anyway, every now and then, you gotta treat the mistress. You gotta bring her out to a nice dinner without the kids, or like even if the kids come out, just bring her somewhere nice, show her a good time. Go drive around, look at Christmas lights, something just to get like you and her together. I'm always trying to plan something or try and think of something. Me and Kayla, like we try to get out to dinner at least once a week. Just so we can have some time together.
Right.
I mean the kids. Not saying they're a burden, but like. Yeah, they interrupt romance. I'll say that because when the kids are here, it's about the kids. Yeah. But like all the time, like I'll walk by her and you're looking good today. You just got to make those comments. I mean, yeah, she looks good. I'm not just saying.
No, but he will make a point to even something small like making a little comment or just doing something nice. That he knows would make me happy. Even those small, intimate, romantic little things that he could do that makes me realize he's thinking about me or trying to put a smile on my face. Those are important things, and I try to do the same for him as well. That's a big. I always feel like you can't stop dating the person after you've gotten married. So you still have to continue that like cordial type of relationship, that dating aspect, have a little bit of that sprinkled into your marriage. Otherwise it's just not gonna, you get into those ruts and then you have a hard time getting out of it.
Yeah, no, that shouldn't. Yeah, I agree. Like you shouldn't have to sacrifice that, where then it becomes like a mundane chore. To be romantic with each other, even.
It still should have some level of excitement, like not just be that, okay, here we are, we're doing the marriage thing, and we're married, we have our intimate time once in a while, but okay, that's it. You go to work, I'll go my way, and you can't just have it that way.
I mean, you know me as good as I am, Frank. If we're out somewhere and something's getting bored, I'm gonna spice things up. I'm gonna make sure like we're getting some entertainment out of it. Not spice it up like that as you think. Oh
yeah, you're gonna spice it up, Frank.
But I'll go do something that I would do and be like, what the and I like if we're just walking around somewhere it's getting boring, or I like see a homeless guy with a good sign, I'll cork out the window, hey, nice sign, bud, just like I always just keep my eye open for excitement, always, and it keeps us on our toes. I gotta keep her on her toes if things get boring. I'm good at that.
Right.
Surprises.
No, we had our little bromance date that one time. You were a gentleman.
Oh.
you had your gun and everything. It was romantic.
Really sweet.
I'll play the part all day. I don't care. You know me.
Yeah, after that, my standards went like all the way up.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you can't settle. Yeah, I mean, you got to settle for something.
Mike has set the goal, so now.
You have a checklist sitting there? No. Out.
Name must rhyme with Mike.
Mike.
Bike. I don't know.
Oh, you like Mike and Ike's?
I love Mike and Ike.
That does work, yeah. There's some weird ass names out in the world now, but so now we got the green ones. So these are just kind of like would you rather type.
Gotcha.
I think would you rather.
Oh, okay. I was like, what do you like?
Thanks, taking mental notes. What is he like?
So let's see. Okay. Would you rather detect every lie you hear or get away with every lie you tell?
Oh, that's a good one.
I want to call out the bullshit. I want to know the lies. But then again, that's not going to bring any surprise, and that's a big thing of me. I like surprising.
You like when lies are surprising, though?
like saying, "Oh, I didn't get you anything," and then all of a sudden it's like, "Hey, that's something cool."
There are good lies.
There's good ones.
But we're talking like the nasty.
Well, whichever. That was a good little loophole, though. Yeah, I didn't even think of that because at first I'm like, is he thinking like, oh, I'm cheating on you, but I'm lying about it? And it's like, ooh, this is a fun little game, like figuring out.
I don't know. I think there are benefits to both ends. Like, yeah, it'd be cool to lie my way through everything and get away with everything. But no, I think I would rather have like the BS exposed and know everything that's all the nasty, nitty gritty, dirty stuff that people are trying to do to me or somebody else.
How much you spend on Amazon today? This much? Uh-huh.
Those are the questions.
Right. Yep. No, I think I would rather know the lies.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So another one we got. Okay, would you rather spend $5,000 on traveling or on a physical item?
Oh, travel.
I was gonna say with what you guys were saying earlier.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
We want to explore. I've always explored. Before I met Kayla, I'd think of like somewhere to go, like a Wednesday, and I'd be like, all right, I'm buying a plane ticket. I'm going here. Buying a plane ticket. I'm going here. I'm gonna go walk this trail. I'm gonna every week. When I was single, I was just constantly hey, anybody want to come for a walk? Anybody want to come to Florida for a weekend? Anybody want to go off coast fishing? I just go and do it. But now I have a family. Now I got to bring them, and that's even better because now I can discover. I mean, like I don't want to be the creepy guy walking around Disney World by myself. So now I got a family to walk around Disney World with.
Why do you think I'm trying to look for a partner here and create a? It's like, yeah, I don't want to be that guy either.
Right. You're like, I really want to go to Disney, but I can't go alone.
You just come hang with us.
I just want to wear some Mickey ears. Damn it.
Damn it. Gonna buy the cute ones.
And not at a Walmart.
Yeah. Frank, you can come with us next time and we'll get you some Mickey ears, okay?
Yes. I've only done Epcot so far. I haven't even done like the yeah.
Oh, you are missing out. I think Epcot for me personally is like bottom of the barrel. I love the other parks.
Oh yeah, Animal Kingdom.
If I had to list them, Epcot would be at the lower tier.
The food's good though. The food's good.
The food is good. I feel like that was good, but also like I feel like there's good food every park for different things. So
what was that one with that new one with Star Wars and all that stuff? What's that one?
That's Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood Studios. That's by far my favorite, the best so far, with Toy Story Land and everything.
Yeah, he liked that one. I'm an Animal Kingdom girl, so
yeah, you're coming next.
Yeah, you'll have to tag along.
Definitely.
Bring you and Monica. It'll be really fun.
It would.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
That too.
Yeah.
Fun and interesting. So one more. Let's see. Okay. Would you rather have a partner who's very funny or very ambitious?
Oh, I mean, see, I'm spoiled. I have both, so this is kind of a tough one.
I want something, I get it. And but I'm also funny. Sometimes.
I don't know. I feel like ambition is important, but I don't know. Yeah, I think the funny would wear off. I think I'd have to go ambition. I think being funny would wear off and not be so funny after a while.
Yeah, you gotta be funny in so many ways. Like, I'll give an example of the military. We have funny guys, we have ambitious guys. Ambitious guys get rank. Funny guys stay at the same rank and sort of start looking like losers.
Right.
Oh, that's a good way of putting that.
Because you're still a private. I'm a staff sergeant.
Right.
What are you doing? You got to grow up sometime, and being ambitious is going to get you there.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like, oh, that joke was funny, but rent is due.
So, right, exactly.
Come on, go get you next month. No, how about you pay now?
Like if you're a famous comedian, yeah, that's different.
Yeah, if you're
there's the loophole. You get to do whatever you want.
But yeah, Kayla and Mike, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on the show. Hey, Past Frank here, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Make sure you subscribe to stay updated on new episodes, leave a review on Apple Podcasts, and if you'd like to become a producer or make a one-time donation to the show, click on the Buy Me Coffee link in the description. I want to give a special thanks to my producers Monica Lee, Alexa Hunt, Jennifer Herrera, Stephanie Lindsay, Kas Nolan, Alana Rasmussen, and Krisha. I also want to thank each and every one of you for listening to the show. Have a super special awesome day, and bye.